last time, we explored how a single children's book can unlock multiple income streams without or before writing a new one. But today, we are flipping the script even further because I know what you might be thinking. How do I monetize a book if I'm not actually selling more copies of it? It sounds counterintuitive, right? But it's not only possible, it might just be the smarter strategy. Welcome back to Storybook Remix, where we explore creative ways to reimagine your children's book stories and extend their impact far beyond traditional publishing. I'm your host, Bayo. In this episode, we are diving into a subtle but powerful distinction: selling versus monetizing. Let's unpack what that really means. Now, selling versus monetizing, what's the difference? When we think of making more money from our book, we default to selling more copies. Now, that's understandable, it's the most obvious path. But here's the thing: selling is transactional, monetizing is transformational. Selling is getting someone to buy your book. Monetizing is building value around the book, turning the ideas, visuals, skills, and effort you've already invested into other products, services, and experiences. In short, selling is the product, monetizing is the ecosystem. So, how do you actually do that? Let's break it down. Hard versus soft assets, what you already have. First, we need to understand the concept of hard and soft assets. This was something I learned from reading Wright Hoffman's The Startup of You, one of my best books on career development. Hence, I'd recommend you check it out. Coming back to our main subject, every children's book you create has two kinds of assets. Hard assets, these are the tangible elements like your story text and illustrations. Soft assets, these are the intangible elements. We could call them behind the scenes elements, and they include your writing or drawing skills, your editing process, your publishing know how, your formatting expertise, to mention a few. The secret to monetizing your book is in how you repurpose both kinds of assets creatively. Let's look at some real examples. Your book's visuals and text, which are your hard assets, can take on a whole new life with a little imagination. Now, the first example is the obvious one which I teach: an interactive story app or a story based game app. Let's say you take your illustrated story and use free software like Unity to turn it into an interactive story app. Now, instead of selling just a physical book, with your app, you're offering an immersive experience with animations, sound effects, or simple read along features. Another example, read along video. Now, I also teach you how to do this using free tools. Now, take those same illustrations from your paperback and create a read along video. Add your voice or hire a voice actor. Using free software like Audacity, you can create your own voiceover to add to it. You can also use free software to highlight the words on screen. Now, once you're done, you upload it to YouTube or bundle it as a bonus resource for schools or parents. In both cases, the original book becomes a gateway, drawing in a wider audience, opening the door to licensing, partnerships, or bundled pricing models. That's monetization without needing another book sale. Now, when it comes to repurposing your soft assets, remember, these are the skills and knowledge that brought your book to life. These skills represent valuable assets that can be exchanged for income. In fact, the length you go with it or the shape it takes, whether it be freelancing, agency, full time, depends on you. The point is, there are lots of people out there willing to engage your services for your soft assets, your skills. With my children's book paperback, The Accents, when I decided to make it available on Amazon, I found Emma Rosen, an author who had documented her process and built a consulting business helping others do the same. For some context, I had used Amazon's print on demand service for previous books before this. With Amazon Print on Demand or Amazon KDP, it's relatively straightforward, as the soft copy of the book is what is required to publish to Amazon's site. After that, the actual printing and distribution are done when orders are confirmed. In this case, the author does not keep a physical stock. However, for the accent, I had copies of my book already printed outside of Amazon. So I simply needed to have a shop on Amazon via its Fulfillment by Amazon or Fulfillment by Merchant program, FBA or FBM. Here, the merchant, me in this case, places my items, my books, on Amazon as a storefront while Amazon handles its payment processing. When the order is made, Amazon notifies me and I fulfill the order by shipping to the customer, hence the term fulfillment by merchant. Alternatively, you could use FBA, fulfillment by Amazon, where Amazon handles the fulfillment for you. Coming back to my story, once I found Emma was offering her expertise via a consulting gig, I gladly paid her to walk me through the process. But that wasn't all I got. Beyond our call, she was on hand to answer questions when I got stuck along the way. Emma Rosen didn't need to write more books to make money. Instead, she monetized the know how behind the books she already created. So next time you wonder whether it's worth it to keep pushing your book, don't just think in terms of sales. Instead, ask, what are all the assets, hard and soft, that this book has created for me? Examples: have you figured out a tricky publishing workflow, built a strong email list, worked with illustrators, editors, or printers? That experience is invaluable. Because that single book might just be your portfolio, your calling card, your training manual, your launch pad for something bigger. It's not about writing more, it's about doing more with what you've already written. Now, to wrap things up, selling more copies is great. That's what we all want as children's book authors. But it's not the only or even the best way to grow your income as a children's book author. The real secret? Look beyond the product and start building the ecosystem around it. Thank you for listening. And if you found this helpful, please share it with another children's book author who needs a little encouragement to look at their work in a new light. Until next time, keep creating, keep imagining, and keep remixing your story. See you.